Hi guys, and welcome to another video from prematchtrading.com, the PMT tool. Game between Brighton and Sheffield Wednesday. This is an automated game. The 0-1 scoreline you can see has come down. That's the Betfair graph. You can see the away price has come down. The home side have drifted, Brighton. And what happens if a home side drifts? The under 2.5 drops as the market expects less goals in the game. So look at the 0-1 price. PMT has it lower, as does the spread firm as well. Looking at the under 2.5, that's fairly similar, but how can the 0-1 on the spreads be 12.13 and they got the Sheffield Wednesday price at 4.9? The price must come in. And this is something that I often do, is that we look at the spreads price and gauge the difference and use that to spot where a price should be. PMT confirms that. So got on the 0-1 at 14, so you can see all of the different matched prices. Laser in at 12.5. So we're going to look at the bookmaker prices, always worth seeing what they've got. And they have the Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 price a lot lower than Betfair. Obviously, Betfair should always be higher. So, say, how can these spreads have Sheffield Wednesday slightly higher, but the 0-1 lower than Betfair? When you consider the under 2.5 is very similar at 1.64 and 1.62 respectively. So this price has to drop. And Brighton are drifting, which is exactly what we want to see. If Brighton, the home side favourites, drift, then the 0-1 to the underdog, Sheffield Wednesday, will come down. And with it the under 2.5. So the earlier you get in on your bets, the better. As soon as my backs are met, I lay on the other side and get in the queue. So I'm going to take this trade in play, going to back over 2.5, going to back Brighton. Had a look at the stats and feel they're going to win. There should be goals. And by having insurance on the 0-1, that helps our trade significantly. And this is how I trade. I use the PMT tool, automated games for live televised games, which have the most liquidity. And they then come out to be very low risk and more often than not profitable. So just waiting for the rest of the 0-1 to be taken. The game has actually started, so never advise taking anything in play. So I'm going to have a little speculative over 4.5 trade as well, but still got a little bit of money you can see in the market. So what happens if it goes to 1-0? I'm going to lose this money, so I'm going to trade out of this now. It really isn't worth the risk. Quick goal, just at some point you will lose doing this. So always recommend coming out. Don't take the trades in play. You will lose. So there we go. We got loads of free money on the 0-1. Acting as insurance. Say if the game gets 0-0 at half time, I can lay some of that off because it'll be a lot lower. I can also zero the £15 reg, you can see, by reducing the green I've got on the 0-1 from the free trade thanks to the PMT tool. So, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave the free green on the 0-1 suspended. Moved it on slightly. Game has gone to 1-0 around the 33rd minute. So we're in a pretty good position. We've got the 1-1 cover. We've got over 2.5. We've got 1-2. We've got 1-3. Sheffield Wednesday scored just before half time. So I'm going to do here is that, one's going to be a loss. So going to reduce the potential red on the under 2.5 if the game ends 1-1, and leave a nice fat green on over 2.5 goals. With the amount of televised games there are always opportunities via the PMT tool. There's a chat room there with like-minded traders who are always on hand to help. The PMT tool has won an award 2 years running as the best trading product from one top review site. Just rolled it on a little bit. Brighton had a red card, they then scored. So profits on over 2.5. We have the profits on Brighton, but what happens if Sheffield score sort of late on here? I really don't want to lose the sort of the £50 that's there on the draw. So it's time to green up, hedge out, and assure ourselves of a tasty green. And if you can do this sort of 2 or 3 times a day, weekends, a few times in the week, you will do very well from it. And there we go, there are the bets. You can see it's a great tool, and combined with the IPT scanner, this is all I use with a couple of stats sites to make regular, decent money. See you again in the next video.